G'day, welcome. Let's go roll some hot dice. It's another Creaky Gamers Kings of War Battle Report.
Okay, welcome to round 3 of the Clash of Kings tournament. And I'm on the top table here, I think, versus Jeff's Basileans. And the scenario is Fool's Gold. So there's a bunch of counters, and then at the end of round 3 you turn them over to see what they're worth, and we'll go through my plans and what the tokens are worth in a minute. But we'll have a quick look at Jeff's list first. So he's got an interesting Basilian list, and it looks like there are a bunch of men-at-arms spearmen. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 there, and then there's one on either flank as well. So they're quite handy regiments, 15 attacks hitting on 4s, and they've got Iron Resolve, and he's paid an extra few points to upgrade their nerve to 14, 16 as well. So there's one out on this flank, and there's one out on the other flank as well. So yeah, they're quite handy, 6 of them, so lots of fun manoeuvring there. There's the one out on the other flank as well. Then next he's got 4 regiments of Ogre Palace Guard. They're not bad either. Crushing 2 and Iron Resolve, 9 attacks. They hit on 3s. They're just like normal Ogre regiments, 12, 14 nerve. And there's 4 of those. So there's one there, one there, and then there's another one he's moving up at the front. This is sort of an action shot from turn 1, and then he's got another one there. So the 4 Ogre Palace Guard regiments are in the middle there. Alright, then he's got a couple of Ogre Palace Guard captains, so one there in the middle and one out on his left flank. They're pretty handy as well. Iron Resolve and Nimble and so on, so they're a bit of a threat, and they're inspiring, I think. Are they inspiring? Yeah, they are inspiring as well. Then he's got the Elohi out on his left flank. He's got 1 regiment of Elohi out on the left flank, so very handy unit as well. There's an Ogre Palace Guard captain there, and there's one on the left. That's the one on the left, I think. Yeah, there's one in the middle and the one on the left. Then way out, you said that arrow on the right there, he's got a hero, Gnaeus Solustus. So he's speed 9, and he's like a mini dragon. He's 200 points, 7 attacks, and later on he's going to shoot up that flank. And then he's got the Abbess. So she's got the gnome glass shield, and so she's like a 20-inch threat range as well. So that's basically the deployment. And then he's got one other character, Sacramus, Mother of Phoenixes. And it's like another little mini dragon, but lots of abilities, Flame Bound and Radiance of Life, and Iron Resolve, Purging Flame, Regen 5+, Heal 5, Fireball 8, so lots of abilities on Samachris, Mother of Phoenixes. All right. Not familiar with all these fancy names that the Basilians go by. So that's the Jeff's list. Let's have a look. And my main plan is just to push the hordes forward in the middle. We pick up the action here I've had my turn 1, and Jeff's having his turn 1. So he's just moving up, and I think my hordes in the middle are going to cop a lot. And during my turn, I see the Abbess. She's there. She's got a 20-inch charge, and I don't want her flying out of the lines and pinning down my flyers. So I have a couple of shots at her with the Amberox and do a couple of wounds, so I knock the gnome glass shield off her. So she won't be quite as tough. But still, she's got 6 attacks, and she's vicious and so on, so she's not bad. So good to knock the gnome glass shield off her anyway, so when she does come in, we can hopefully do something about her. So during my turn 1, I just moved the hordes up, and the Storm Slayer moved up on the right flank. The Great Keef and the Hellstrikers are over on the right flank there, just biding their time. Now my plan is, I know that I've put a 1, a 2, and a 1 over on this flank here. So I know with those objectives, I know that's where I really want to push my attack. I want to push my attack up and claim those objectives. I know the ones on the right flank here, circled in blue there, are worth 0. So I want to try and fight on the left-hand side. I have no idea what these tokens are worth, but I don't have any unit strength really up there, but I'm going to have to fight that flank. So Jeff's got a strong centre, as do I, so I'm hoping that the hordes will push up. They will probably die. Well, they'll definitely die, but hopefully I can make a bit of a fight of it in the middle. So that's the plan, and the Hellstrikers way out on my right flank. They're just jostling around there, and that's it. So this is Jeff's turn 1. He's moving up. I've already had my go, and he's presenting some funny charge angles and so on, trying to entice the hordes of Riftforged Legionnaires to go in. And you'll be able to see, hopefully be able to see this character up on the left flank. Yeah, there he is. So that's Gnaeus Salustus. Now he's going to fly up this right flank. He's speed 9, so he moves 18. So he's going to, at the double up there, and then turn in. So he's going to threaten my whole flank up here. So I've got to do something about him. I don't need him out on my flank with his, what's he got, 7 attacks and crushing 2 and so on. So he's a pretty handy character. So that's it. So he's going to fly up there. He's going to get past my giant and turn in and threaten all my flyers and everything on that flank. So my only defence against that is I've got Thonar out on that flank, so he'll be able to do something. And then just pivoting around using nimble moves with his ogre captains and so on. And you can see that he's moved up and presented some awkward looking charges. And here is Thonar has charged out of my lines to try and get rid of that guy on my left flank. So it's all happening, and the standoff over on the right flank. I should have just stayed at a standoff over there. So the hordes look like they're in trouble. I'm not sure where that green marker is. Maybe he wavered them. I'm not sure if he had any shooting or anything, but the hordes are just going to sit there and die probably. They got support from the Storm Slayer and the Shrine and so on. And here it is, it happened. I think it might be about turn 3. During turn 3 or something, or 2 or 3, the hordes get multi-charged. So they're getting crunched. That one's been quadruple charged. The Abyss has come over there as well. And the other one's been triple charged. So I'm just hoping the hordes can hold for a bit of time. And then on the left flank, Thonar went into Gnaeus Salustus and did a couple of wounds. But then he's backed off and he's going to get away from Thonar and get stuck into my Hellstrikers. So the Iron Resolve, he only probably did 3 wounds, and Iron Resolve healed 1. And so Thonar did his best to come out of the lines there and stop him, but then he's going to back off and he's going to scoot across and then get stuck into my Hellstrikers. So there he goes, Gnaeus Salustus. He does a few wounds to the Hellstrikers, but then Thonar and the Hellstrikers counterpunch and they get rid of him. So that was good to get rid of that guy, because I didn't want him in my back lines causing all sorts of trouble. And so the hordes are holding on. You can see they've taken a bunch of wounds. They've held, and then I need them to counterpunch. And now we're going to reveal the tokens. And the giant's standing on a 0. There's a 2 there. There's a 1 there, and there's a 0 up that flank there. So the situation is that the tokens are mainly on the left flank. So the 2s are there, and there's a 1 all around the place. There's 1s everywhere, but the 2s are on here. So not that I have any unit strength on the 2s at the moment, but that's where I wanted to fight. I wanted the hordes to hold up, the Riftforged Legionnaires, sacrificing themselves. So if you're in one of my armies, you don't want to be a Riftforged Legionnaire because you just get sacrificed for the cause. So hopefully they can counterpunch and do something, mess up the middle a bit. But they're still fighting, so here we are a bit later on. They've counterpunched, and then my biggest mistake was to send the Hellstrikers in on that right flank. You can see, instead of hanging back, I should have sent the Hellstrikers and the Great Keef into the Palace Guard Captain. So they've charged in there, whereas I should have just held off there. There's no tokens over here, so there's no reason to fight over here. And I had the speed to get back over to the other flank where all the victory points are, all the tokens are. So I should have hightailed it and gone left, but anyway, I just threw them in here thinking that I might be able to break them, but they're going to get counterpunched by the Ogre Guard Captain, Ogre Palace Guard Captain there. He's going to do a nimble pivot into the flank, and then the Alohi are going to come in and hit the Hellstrikers as well. So really I've thrown that unit away. Yeah, so there you go. Look, there's they making room. The Elohi come in and the Palace Guard captains into the flank. So the Hellstrikers there, they're going to die for no gain. So that was a waste. Bit of a mistake there. No need to charge in there and throw them away. But we live and learn. And then the the Riftforged Legionnaires are complaining because they're fighting and they're not getting any help. Yeah, so I think with the counterpunch I hit that unit of Palace Guard and wavered them, so they've pushed back, and I think I might have destroyed one of the Palace Guard units with the Horde on the left. So they're missing a Palace Guard unit there. So they're getting counterpunched now, and this Horde took 9 wounds. They thought they could hang on, maybe even hang on another turn, except they've got this unit in the flank. And this unit in the flank here is only there because the Riftwalkers charged them in the flank and failed to rout them. So I think they took a few wounds, but they survived and they're in a perfect position to get into the flank of the Riftforged Legionnaires. So that's why the Riftforged Legionnaires are very unhappy that this unit is on their flank. So it might be the end for them coming up. Okay, so now I missed a turn here, so I'm sorry if it's a bit disjointed, but you can see the demise of the Riftforged Legionnaires. They're both gone now. And I've sort of cleaning up a bit on the left flank here. The Hellstrikers have come in. And they've got a unit there. Looks like they failed to break them because those black mark counters that Jeff has indicates that they're wavered. So it looks like those spearmen got hit in the flank and got hit by the Hellstrikers. And the Riftwalkers have come in as well. They failed to rout that unit, so they've come in and finished them off. So a unit of spearmen's died there. This unit's wavering. And the Ambrox over there is sneaking up to get onto that objective. And the Giants fighting way out on the left flank against a lone unit of spearmen who keep backing off away from him. Okay, so the Orcs, we're running out of troops, and it looks like the Storm Slayer's in a bit of trouble over there. He's been recharged and frontally charged. He's in a bit of trouble there. The Elohi, after finishing off the Hellstrikers, are sweeping around this flank, heading towards the objective, so they're going to be a bit of a threat. So there's a bit of a fight happening here, just cleaning up the rest of the spearmen, but they are counter-punching. The Great Keef has flown over here, pointing this direction to come back and help and maybe hang on to an objective. We need unit strength on those objectives there to try and win the battle, win the scenario, but we're running out of unit strength. So we're just clinging on to the objectives on the left-hand side. Okay, so things are hotting up and we're running out of unit strength. The objectives where they were on the left-hand side, now we're sort of turned that flank. The Giants are going to fight those spearmen there, and he's going to finish them off eventually and hold the one objective way out on the left. But the important thing is the objective's worth 2. So there's nothing worth fighting over there. The Storm Slayer's going to go down. And here the Abyss, he's going to charge up there onto the hill to try and pin down the Hellstrikers. So you can see the Abyss there. The objectives worth 2 are in these locations. You can see a unit of Ogre Palace Guards sneaking over on the right there to grab an objective. So they'll grab a 1 there. But the Elohi are still a threat. They can come in, and I'm running out of strong units. The only real strong unit I have is the Hellstrikers up on the hill. They're getting pinned down. The Giant's way out on the left doing his job. So we don't really have much here, and he's pinned the Hellstrikers down. The Great Keef's going to have to fly over and do something. He hasn't done much this game, but he's just getting in the way there. They've all turned around to try and get at him. And so there's those Ogres grabbing that objective there as well. So the clean-up, the Hellstrikers have taken out the Abyss on the hill. The shrine is turned to face those spearmen, so it's not broken yet. It's quite hard to get rid of with that -17 nerve. I've got the Riftwalkers there and Thonar as well to try and protect that objective there worth 2. So we're just trying to hold them back, and I think We're going to hang on to those 2 objectives, and if Jeff can break the Riftwalkers and overrun into the objective worth 2, then he may win the game. It's going to be very close in the final turn. Okay, so I'm going from memory here, and I missed videoing an overview, but I'm learning. Next time I'll probably do more high shots so you can see the overall layout of the table and what's happening. But I can give you a summary here. I think we did go into a turn 7, and the Riftwalkers have moved over here to try and guard that objective worth 2. You can see this Palace Guard captain's going to move up. He's going to be a threat as well. And the Alohi are going to come in here and try and get rid of the Riftwalkers. But bravely, the Riftwalkers are going to hold. The Ogre Palace Guard captain's going to end up about here somewhere. And then Thonar's going to move up there to try and hold off the Ogre Palace Guard captain. And the Riftwalkers are going to bravely hang on and try and stop the Alohi from getting to the objective. Okay, so moving along, we're getting towards the end, viewers, so hang in there. The Giant's going to hold that objective way out on the left flank, and the 2/2s, I'm holding them at the moment, but just working out a way that he can get one of those 2s off me. So he's going to just pin down the Hellstrikers. I think that character's looking at flying over there, the Mother of Phoenixes, and just pinning down the Hellstrikers so they can't take any further part in the battle. And he's going to go for the objective worth 2 at the bottom of the screen. So at the moment, it's up to 5-3 in favour of the Riftforged Orcs. So you can see the charges. He's going to push towards this direction. He's going to try and take out the War Shrine. The Alohi are going to come into the Riftwalkers, and the Mother of Phoenixes is going to go into the Hellstrikers to pin them down. The aim is for him to push through and take that objective worth 2 down the bottom of the screen. So this is what it looks like here. The Palace Guard and the Captain and the unit of Spearmen are going to get rid of the shrine. So the shrine's hung on as long as they can there, and now they're going to disappear, which will open things up. Once the shrine's out of the way, it'll open things up for the Palace Guard and the Captain there to go through to the objective and get more unit strength on the objective. But the Riftwalkers are going to hang on for 1 turn at least. So the Riftwalkers hang on and then just capture it here. So the Riftwalkers hang on. Thonar charged up. That's the objective worth 2. Thonar snuck through the gap there to try and hold the Palace Guard captain back. The other Palace Guard unit up there charged into the Hellstrikers to keep them out of the battle. So it just depends now whether the Palace Guard captain coming in and the Alohi can remove the Riftwalkers, and then if they get a decent overrun, they'll be able to overrun onto the objective and have more unit strength than I have on that objective worth 2. The only thing I've got on there at the moment is an Amber Ox holding that objective. Okay, so hope you followed along this far, and it's come down to this. This is the final turn. So it must have gone to turn 7. So the final turn, and the Thonar failed to get rid of that Palace Guard captain. So he's going to do a nibble charge around him into the Riftwalkers. The Riftwalkers have got a couple of wounds on them, and if he breaks the Riftwalkers, then he'll have 2 chances to overrun, and he's going to need about a 4-inch overrun to get one of those guys onto the objective and contest it at least, or even outnumber it and win the game. So if the Riftwalkers get destroyed, he's got an overrun to win the game. That's basically what's happening. So it's come down to this final turn. It hangs in the balance. Can the Riftwalkers hold? And can he overrun far enough onto the objective? So there you go. As expected, the Riftwalkers, they died. And then he had the overrun. So you can see the objective is there. The Amber Ox is holding the objective. He's within 3 of the centre of the objective. And then the Ogre Captain, he overruns with a 2, I think. And the Alohi overrun with a 3. And they don't quite get within range to contest or hold that objective. So it was a game of a couple of inches in the end. So a narrow victory to the Riftforged Orcs. So thanks for the game, Jeff. It was very bloody and very interesting game, and we managed to hang on. So there's the handshake, and it's all over.
That was the one.
Yeah, so they've overrun to about there and about there. Yeah.
Just shy of it.
So the Amber Ox will hold it with
Yep.
one.
That was a good game.
Okay, so that's it, viewers. So thanks for watching. If you, I'll put a link in the description to battle number 1 and 2. And so the Riftforged Orcs were victorious, 3 out of 3. So that was pretty lucky, I'd say. We were very lucky to win the second game and very lucky to win the last game. So you need a bit of luck sometimes. So going over the army, well, the Riftforged Legionnaire hordes, they were very good. They died in most games. I think one survived the first game, but other than that, they did their jobs. They held on. Maybe I could swap them for regiments or something, but the hordes will stay. The Riftwalkers, well, their melee 4 lets them down. I was running 2 troops of these guys, but I swapped one out. They're 120 points for a troop, so I swapped one for a Storm Slayer, because he hits on 3s. That's mainly the only reason. They are good, they're nimble, they speed 7 and so on, but so 130 points gets me a Storm Slayer, who is crushing 2 and nimble and so on, so he's a very similar sort of unit. The Storm Shrine was handy. Is it absolutely necessary? Maybe not. Is it worth 190 points or whatever it is? Maybe not, I'm not sure. The Giant, he only cast Wind Blast once in game 2 and moved a unit back 1 inch, so I sort of didn't really utilise the Wind Blast, but his Cloak of Death and his combat ability was pretty handy sometimes. So the Storm Giant, he gets another go. I think he was alright, but 240 points, he's pretty expensive. The Amber Ox, they were good. I only sort of threw those in the last few games of the campaign when we were playing against the Halflings, and it was important to have some ranged threat, so that was handy. And yeah, I would run them again. They're pretty good. It's good to have some ranged threat, and just something to get in the way sometimes. The Great Keef on his Hellstrike Manticore, he was good. Didn't do much though. Thonar sort of is always out on his own. He should be near the shrine for Host Shadow Beast and so on, but I never cast Host Shadow Beast on him at all in all 3 games. Probably my fault. But he was always out on a flank for his inspiring. He can do things on his own. And then the Hellstrikers, well, they were good. What would I change about them? That unit had the Boots of Striding, which I used a couple of times. And the other one had the extra life leech, so they were life leech 2. So that was handy. That was pivotal in the last game. That sort of kept them going for a bit, and they hung on until the end, so they stayed alive. I think maybe would push a unit up to 305 points if you wanted to give them nimble. The whatever is the Wine of Elvenkind or something, whatever it is that makes them nimble. I think nimble would get them into some better positions. A lot of the time they just had to go face first in, charge in and do the job. If they were nimble, they could get out and do some more damage. But overall, the army was pretty good. I probably had some chaff. You could replace any unit and another unit would do the job. I mean, Tundra Wolves would do the job of the Hellstrikers. With the Brewer Strength on a unit of Tundra Wolves would do pretty much the same job, and they'd be nimble. They wouldn't last as long, but they do the sort of threat and charge and out on a flank. So anyway, it was good fun using, and you could change anything around and it would still be pretty good, just how you use them. But they did all right. Need more chaff maybe. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Well, that was different.
Yep, lousy, but different.